Over 60. These 5 nuts can boost your heart, brain, and bones. But 5 others may silently harm your health. Eat smart or risk regret. Number 1 in our list, pecans. The cholesterol-clearing antioxidant nut. If you're over 60 and trying to take better care of your heart and immune system, you might want to start eating pecans every day. These rich, buttery nuts aren't just a tasty treat. They're packed with science-backed health benefits that make them a powerful ally in healthy aging. Let's begin with your heart. Pecans are one of the most antioxidant-rich nuts you can eat. In fact, a study published in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry found that pecans can help reduce levels of oxidized LDL cholesterol, which is the type of cholesterol most likely to stick to your artery walls and trigger cardiovascular disease. That means pecans don't just lower cholesterol. They help clean out harmful fats that put strain on your heart. But it doesn't stop there. Pecans are also high in monounsaturated fats, the same heart-healthy fats found in olive oil and avocados. These fats have been shown to reduce inflammation, improve circulation, and even support memory and brain function in older adults. Plus, they're a great source of zinc, a key mineral for a strong immune system. As we age, our zinc levels naturally drop, which can make us more vulnerable to illness. So restoring that balance is crucial. Now, here's how to make the most of them. Stick to about 18 pecan halves per day. That's roughly 1 small handful. Choose raw or dry-roasted varieties with no added sugar or salt. Avoid candied pecans, which might taste good but cancel out many of the health benefits. And don't leave them sitting in a warm pantry. Store them in the fridge to keep the oils from turning rancid. There's also a common myth that pecans are fattening. While they are calorie-dense, studies show that moderate nut consumption is not associated with weight gain. Number 2 in our list, pistachios. The green nut for pressure and vision. When it comes to supporting your heart and eyesight as you age, pistachios might be one of the most underrated, yet powerful foods you can eat. Small in size, big in benefits. These green gems are loaded with nutrients that promote blood pressure control, eye protection, and overall vitality for seniors. Let's start with potassium, a mineral that helps balance fluids in the body, lower sodium retention, and support healthy blood pressure levels. Each ounce of pistachios delivers nearly 300 milligrams of potassium, which is more than most other nuts. Studies from the Hypertension Journal have shown that older adults who increased potassium intake saw improved systolic blood pressure without the side effects associated with many medications. Pistachios are also rich in lutein and zeaxanthin, 2 carotenoids that directly support the macula of the eye, the part responsible for sharp vision. For seniors at risk of age-related macular degeneration, eating pistachios regularly may help protect vision and slow progression of eyesight decline. But there's more. Pistachios also contain arginine, an amino acid that promotes better blood flow and circulation. That means more oxygen reaching your heart, brain, and muscles, helping you stay active and alert. So, how many should you eat? About 49 pistachios or 1 ounce per day is the sweet spot. Choose unsalted, in-shell varieties whenever possible. Shelling them by hand naturally slows you down, making it easier to eat mindfully and avoid overindulgence. Some people believe pistachios are hard on the teeth, but in fact, they're softer than almonds or macadamias, making them a better option for those with sensitive teeth or dental work. Number 3 in our list, walnuts, the brain's best friend. As we age, keeping our memory sharp and protecting brain health becomes more important than ever. That's where walnuts come in. With their distinctive brain-like shape, these nuts are rich in specific nutrients that directly support cognitive performance, mental clarity, and mood stability, making them one of the most powerful foods for seniors concerned about memory loss. What sets walnuts apart is their high content of alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, a plant-based omega-3 fatty acid. In fact, walnuts are the only common nut with a significant amount of ALA, about 2.5 grams per ounce. According to a study published in the Journal of Nutrition, seniors who consumed just 1.5 ounces of walnuts per day for 8 weeks experienced measurable improvements in cognitive processing speed and mental flexibility. Walnuts also contain polyphenols, natural compounds with strong anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects. These substances protect your brain from oxidative stress, which is a major contributor to age-related conditions like Alzheimer's and dementia. Even more, walnuts are one of the few foods that naturally contain melatonin, the hormone that regulates sleep. For older adults who struggle with insomnia or fragmented sleep, adding a small portion of walnuts in the evening may help promote restful, deeper sleep. Practical advice: aim to eat around 7 to 9 walnut halves daily, which equals roughly 1.5 ounces. Choose them raw or lightly roasted, and always store them in the refrigerator to preserve their delicate oils and prevent rancidity. Walnuts go bad faster than other nuts because of their high fat content, so freshness matters. Some people worry walnuts are bitter or hard to digest, but this is often due to rancid or overly roasted batches. If you find this video helpful for your health, make sure to subscribe to our channel. Now, let's move on to the next step. Number 4 in our list, almonds. Your bone-strengthening, gut-supporting ally. As the years go by, your bones, heart, and digestive system need extra support, and that's where almonds come in. These crunchy, nutrient-packed nuts are among the most complete and beneficial snacks you can include in your daily routine as an older adult. Let's start with your bones. Almonds are naturally high in calcium and magnesium, two essential minerals that work together to maintain bone density and strength. After age 60, bone loss accelerates, especially in women. Just a quarter cup of almonds gives you nearly 100 milligrams of calcium and a solid dose of magnesium, which not only helps bones, but also keeps muscles and nerves functioning properly. But almonds go a step further. Unlike calcium supplements, which can sometimes harden arteries when not properly absorbed, almonds contain magnesium, which helps transport calcium to the bones, not the arteries. That's why they're often considered a heart-safe calcium source. Almonds are also loaded with vitamin E, a powerful antioxidant that protects your cells from damage, supports immune function, and even helps delay cognitive decline. A study from Tufts University found that vitamin E combined with plant flavonoids, found in almond skins, can double antioxidant activity in the brain. And don't overlook their digestive benefits. With about 3.5 grams of fiber per serving, almonds help reduce constipation, a common issue that affects up to 40% of seniors. Eating almonds regularly can also support stable blood sugar, thanks to their healthy fat and fiber content. For best results, aim for 15 to 20 almonds a day. Choose them raw or dry roasted, and ideally with the skins on. That's where the highest concentration of antioxidants lives. Be cautious if you have swallowing difficulties. Chewing thoroughly is essential to prevent choking. Number 5 in our list, hazelnuts, the unsung hero of heart and brain health. You've heard plenty about almonds and walnuts, but what about hazelnuts? These small, round nuts often fly under the radar, but they offer big health benefits for older adults, especially when it comes to protecting your heart, brain, and blood vessels. Hazelnuts are especially rich in vitamin E, a fat-soluble antioxidant that supports cognitive clarity, nerve function, and helps slow down age-related brain decline. A study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that older adults with higher vitamin E intake had better memory and focus and were less likely to experience cognitive impairment over time. But the benefits don't stop there. Hazelnuts are loaded with monounsaturated fats, the same heart-healthy fats found in olive oil, which help reduce LDL, bad cholesterol, and improve HDL, good cholesterol levels. This balance is key for maintaining a healthy cardiovascular system, especially in your 60s and beyond. Hazelnuts also provide a natural source of folate, a B vitamin critical for red blood cell production and stroke prevention. Many older adults don't get enough folate in their diet, which can increase fatigue, poor circulation, and even memory problems. So how should you enjoy them? Aim for about 1 ounce of hazelnuts daily, or roughly 21 nuts. Choose raw or lightly roasted hazelnuts, with no added oils or salt. They're softer than some other nuts, making them easier to chew for those with dental concerns. Some believe hazelnuts are only for desserts or chocolate spreads, but in reality, they're a powerful standalone snack for seniors who want to support brain health, blood flow, and heart protection in one go. If you're looking to add variety to your nut intake and want a nutrient-dense option that supports aging from the inside out, hazelnuts are the quiet hero worth adding to your daily routine. Number 6 in our list. Peanuts, a hidden threat in your pantry. They may be one of the most popular snacks in the world, but for older adults, peanuts can pose hidden health risks that are too often overlooked. Despite being grouped with tree nuts, peanuts are actually legumes, and that difference matters, especially as you age. One of the biggest concerns is their susceptibility to aflatoxins, toxic compounds produced by mold that grows on peanuts when stored in warm, humid conditions. According to the World Health Organization, long-term exposure to aflatoxins can damage the liver and weaken the immune system, a serious issue for seniors with already reduced detox capacity. Peanuts are also high in omega-6 fatty acids, which may sound healthy but, in excess, can increase inflammation, especially if your diet is already low in omega-3s. For older adults dealing with arthritis, cardiovascular issues, or cognitive decline, this imbalance can quietly make things worse over time. And there's more. Peanuts contain a fair amount of vitamin K, which can interfere with blood-thinning medications like warfarin, something many seniors take daily. This interaction can affect how your blood clots and could potentially lead to dangerous complications if not monitored closely. Even peanut butter isn't safe from scrutiny. Commercial brands are often packed with added sugar, salt, and hydrogenated oils, turning what seems like a simple spread into a pro-inflammatory, ultra-processed product. If you do eat peanuts, make sure they're organic, dry roasted, and unsalted, and keep them stored properly to avoid mold. But for many older adults, the safer route is to limit or completely avoid peanuts, especially if you're managing chronic inflammation or on prescription medications. Number 7 in our list. Cashews. Sweet and smooth, but sugar spiking. They may look harmless and taste creamy, but cashews can quietly cause trouble, especially for older adults dealing with blood sugar concerns, kidney health, or digestive sensitivity. While often marketed as a healthy snack, cashews come with some real red flags that most people aren't aware of. First, let's talk about carbohydrates. Cashews contain nearly 9 grams of carbs per ounce, which is significantly higher than most other nuts. For seniors living with diabetes or prediabetes, which now affects nearly 1 in 2 Americans over 65, this means cashews can cause sudden blood sugar spikes that may go unnoticed at first, but create long-term harm. Even more concerning is their oxalate content. Cashews are rich in oxalates, natural compounds that can bind to calcium in your digestive tract and prevent absorption, increasing the risk of osteoporosis over time. These same oxalates also raise the risk of kidney stones, especially in older adults with a history of urinary issues or low fluid intake. Another overlooked problem? Cashews are one of the most aspirated nuts due to their soft, curved shape. For seniors with swallowing difficulties or dry mouth from medications, This can pose a serious choking hazard. And there's the issue of processing. Cashews naturally contain urushiol, the same compound found in poison ivy. Though it's removed before the nuts are sold, the intense heat processing required strips away much of their original nutrient value, making them less beneficial than they appear. Many store-bought cashews are also salted and oil roasted, which adds unnecessary sodium and unhealthy fats. If you enjoy the taste of cashews, the safer choice is to eat them only occasionally, in small amounts, and always unsalted. If you find this video helpful for your health, make sure to subscribe to our channel. Now, let's move on to the next step. Number 8 in our list: macadamia nuts, caloric overload with hidden risks. Macadamia nuts may feel luxurious with their rich, buttery flavor, but for older adults, they can be a sneaky source of health problems, especially when it comes to weight gain, cholesterol levels, and digestive strain. Let's start with the basics. Macadamia nuts are the highest calorie nut on the market, packing nearly 200 calories per ounce, mostly from fat. While some of that fat is monounsaturated and heart-friendly, these nuts also contain about 3 grams of saturated fat per ounce. For seniors already managing high cholesterol or heart disease, this excess saturated fat can tip the balance in the wrong direction. Another concern is how calorie-dense they are. As we age, our metabolism slows down, and it becomes harder to burn off extra energy. Just a small handful of macadamias can provide more calories than an entire light meal, without much fiber or protein to keep you full. That makes overeating very easy and can silently contribute to weight gain, especially if you're trying to maintain a healthy weight in your 60s or beyond. Macadamias can also be tough on digestion. Their dense fat content puts pressure on the gallbladder, which many seniors have trouble with, especially if gallstones or bile issues are already present. Some older adults with undiagnosed gallbladder concerns may feel bloated, sluggish, or nauseated after eating macadamias, but fail to connect the dots. And let's not forget oral health. Their firm texture can be risky for anyone with fragile teeth, crowns, or dental implants. A cracked tooth is the last thing you want at any age, especially after 65. If you truly enjoy them, keep your serving size very small, no more than 5 to 6 nuts a day, raw and unsalted. Number 9 in our list: pine nuts, taste distortion, and medication dangers. They may be small, but pine nuts can cause big problems for older adults, especially if you're on multiple medications or sensitive to changes in taste and appetite. Often used in pesto or sprinkled on salads, these seeds, yes, they're technically seeds, come with a range of hidden health risks that many seniors aren't aware of. One of the most unusual but well-documented issues is pine mouth, a condition that causes a strong metallic taste to develop 1 to 3 days after eating pine nuts. According to research published in the European Journal of Emergency Medicine, this taste disturbance can last up to 2 weeks and significantly reduce appetite and enjoyment of food. For older adults, especially those already dealing with poor appetite or unintended weight loss, this can have serious consequences for nutrition and energy levels. But the bigger concern is how pine nuts interact with medications. Compounds in certain types of pine nuts have been shown to interfere with the absorption or metabolism of common blood pressure drugs, statins, and antidepressants, all widely prescribed to people over 65. Since older adults are more likely to be on multiple prescriptions, this interaction risk becomes especially important to consider. Pine nuts are also high in polyunsaturated fats, which tend to oxidize quickly when stored improperly. That means pine nuts can become rancid fast, producing inflammatory compounds that may worsen conditions like arthritis or heart disease. Their small, slippery shape also increases the risk of aspiration, particularly for seniors with swallowing difficulties or those taking medications that cause dry mouth, which affects over 70% of older adults on daily prescriptions. Even though they contain some healthy fats and minerals, the risks for seniors often outweigh the benefits. Number 10 in our list, chestnuts, the starch bomb in disguise. They may feel festive and nostalgic, especially during the holidays. But chestnuts are not the health food many people believe them to be, particularly for older adults. Unlike most other nuts, chestnuts are low in fat and protein, but very high in starch, making them behave more like a complex carbohydrate than a traditional nut. Let's break that down. While almonds or walnuts are rich in healthy fats and offer steady energy, chestnuts are made up of nearly 90% carbs, with about 15 grams of starch per ounce. That means they spike blood sugar quickly, a major concern for older adults dealing with type 2 diabetes or prediabetes, a condition affecting nearly half of people over 65. Even more, chestnuts offer minimal protein and very little fat, making them less satisfying and more likely to leave you hungry shortly after. And because they're often roasted with added sugar or syrups, they can contain hidden sweeteners that worsen insulin resistance and contribute to weight gain over time. From a nutrient perspective, chestnuts do contain some vitamin C and manganese, but the amounts are relatively small, and not enough to offset the risks for older adults concerned with blood sugar control and weight maintenance. There's also a common misconception that chestnuts are light and good for snacking. But that's only if you're comparing them to heavy holiday desserts. In reality, the high glycemic load of chestnuts can create a metabolic roller coaster, especially when consumed alongside other starchy foods like potatoes or bread. If you love chestnuts, it's okay to enjoy them occasionally, but they should never be treated as a daily health food. Stick to small portions, avoid sweetened or candied versions, and pair them with a protein or fat to reduce the glycemic impact.